Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Valley Podcast. 45 for Booker. It's no 70. It's no 70, which he's gotten before, but 45. It's really hard to believe that he almost scored, 70 at one point. It almost feels like double 45. I know it's not. I know that's 90, but damn. Booker goes off tonight. Salty, I didn't know if he was going to have a 45 game point this season. What are your thoughts, man? Right off the back, I got the backwards Booker jersey. I got to show his name all game. What are you thinking, bro? I mean, are you mad that we almost lost? Are you mad that we let it so close? Or are you just happy about 5 points?
Yo, what's up, Suns Nation? It's good to be here. You're looking fuzzy, you know what I'm saying? You're looking blurry. You might be having internet issues or something. But
anyway, having some
Evan
issues.
Yeah. It was good. It was good to have the Suns play on a back-to-back, and I was worried we were going to have some issues like we had tonight, but they pulled it out in the end. So what can you be mad at? An ugly win's better than a pretty loss, as they say. So, it is what it is.
What's going on, everybody in the chat? I want to start out by saying this. I hope you guys can see me. I know you can probably hear me just fine, but YouTube has to do something about this hacking and just making I'm just going to start calling them clone accounts, right? They're not sock accounts. They're like clone accounts. They just take whatever picture you have, your name, and they can just go wherever they want. It's crazy. Like, I appreciate the flattery. I appreciate you guys want whoever it is imitating us. But, I tuned in. I was watching Suns Jam session, and I look in there, and all of a sudden people are talking crap. They're like, yeah, I'm about to unfollow the Valley Podcast. And I look up even further, and it's like I'm talking crap to them. Like, did you see that?
I didn't see that. I heard, dude. I heard Iverson saying something happened, but yeah, something needs to be done so where you can actually click on the profile when they're in the chat, and YouTube needs to address that immediately.
Absolutely. It's just, I don't know. I mean, it sucks, man. Like, I apologize to you guys in there. I'm sure at some point Matthew and Darth must have been like, damn, like, is Gabe drunk? Like, how drunk did he get? I don't even really drink. Like, I drink very rarely, so I'm not drunk. I'm not hating. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us when you guys are done and everything. So, they're still going, so they're not going to be able to hear that. But look, Book gets 45. To me, bro, it didn't feel like he had 45. That was a weird 45. Or were you keeping track of his score the whole game?
No, Booker just makes it look easy when he scores, like he put up massive numbers, and people look at it and it's like 45 is not like an easy thing to do. Because if you look at the stats, Booker passed a bunch of Suns players already for 30-point games. And I think with his game tonight, 40 plus games, like of 40 points or more, I think he's only one behind Amari. And you know how long Amari was here. So Booker is just blowing by all-time Suns greats in terms of scoring, because he just is a scorer. He just knows how to put the ball in the hoop. And I think I've mentioned this more than lately, that he knows his role. He knows he's a star. And he's just putting the ball in the basket. He's putting up way more shots, and he's developed his game. It's all around. His 3-point game's kind of suffered, but it's hard to stop him on the court because he's like a shot creator on NBA 2K. His shot percentage for making it goes up when you guard him. So, like, what are you going to do? Just leave him open the whole game? I mean, that could be a strategy, but he'd probably just take it to the rack every time, right?
I know exactly what you mean, man. But I want to go to the chat here. I just want to shout out the chat. So King, first of all, King was one of the first people in here. He's like, yo, what's up? And then my clone account is like, the Valley Podcast has been canceled tonight. He's like, why? And probably just left. So King, I hope you're still with us, bro. I hope you make your way back. Johnny GT in here, GT17. Iverson Vlogs, man, we appreciate you. As always, Jason Joyce, Coov Hoops. He says, what's up, Blazers uprise to start my night, Valley Pod to end it. Hell yeah. Blazers won, right? They're handling their business, I think, right? They're looking good. We're becoming more and more fearful, at least I am, of the Blazers every day. Roy in here saying that Ayton was butt juice. We'll talk about Ayton. I'm not sure where you're at on Ayton. I'm more upset with Monty, but we'll get in that later. Burner, what's good, man? Yeah, he says we hated rebounds tonight. You had a perfect tweet, Salty. What was that? Did we end up with giving up more than 18 offensive rebounds, or did it stay at 18?
I think it stayed there, but it's unreal the amount of offensive rebounds we're giving up. I forgot what other game that we were just giving up massive offensive rebounds, but it seems to be becoming a trend. And if you look at the differential, it was at least 10 points total, like 10 rebounds total that they were out rebounding us. And they put a big lineup in there. I think their shortest player was 6'7". But at the same time, man, we were just getting dusted on the boards. There's a point where they got 3 rebounds in a row, like offensive rebounds. They didn't put the ball in the hoop, but my God, that is just frustrating to watch,
Ayton versus Vooch. Am I right? I mean, I was talking with Coach on the phone a little bit during the game. And, we were both having some issues watching the game because our hearts were about to explode. And he was saying that he feels like Vucevic is kind of like Ayton's kryptonite. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm starting to think that Monty is Ayton's kryptonite.
So, yeah. All right. So we talked about this before, right? Playing basketball. If you're doing what you're supposed to and you don't get the rock and you're not engaged in the offense and no one passes you the ball, you just disengage. It's kind of a natural human tendency because I don't care who you are and how much of a team player you are. Like if you're not getting past the ball, like eventually you're just going to stop rolling with ferocity, right? Because when I was watching the game, I was frustrated in the first half because it's just like he's not getting the ball. He had like 3 shots in the first quarter or something like that. And then he gets sat until the 6-minute mark in the second. And it's like same story over and over. And then he just disengaged completely from that point. He wasn't crashing the boards. His energy was down. I can't find the tape of Monty just going in on him. It was they panned over. I was watching the Suns broadcast. Let me know if you guys saw this. They called the timeout. The Suns called the timeout. Aiden's walking to the bench, and Monty's just yelling at him. And, he did something that pissed him off. And I think it was just his disengaged attitude with things. And at a certain point, when Cam Payne out-rebounds you, and this dude's a 6-foot-something guard, there's an issue. You're 7 feet tall. I don't care if they're running a big lineup. That's a hustle thing. That's an energy thing. That's an engagement thing. And I think it's not all the blame goes to Ayton because when your coach isn't calling plays for you, your players aren't passing you the ball consistently. It's hard to get into a offensive rhythm because when Dario gets on the court, Chris Paul trusts his ass, throws it down to him in the post and lets him do work. Everybody seems to just give him the ball when he needs it, and he's just scoring at will. And then DA, they kind of make it a point to give him the ball in the beginning, but then they're like, well,
and they're like, yeah,
DA's on the court. I mean, Devin Booker's not passing him the ball. He's not really passing to anybody at this point, and that's fine because he's scoring, and he scored 45 points tonight. But like the other players, and it's just it snowballed downhill to the point where he got this bad energy going on, and then he just was not in rhythm. So he took a couple of rush shots when he actually gets the ball because he's like, holy shit, I actually got the ball, right? So then he rushes the shot. Like if you're consistently getting the ball on your spot at the right times in rhythm, you're going to be more inclined to take your time instead of, hey, I'm barely getting the ball once in a blue moon, so I need to shoot it, and then you're miscombobulated. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Personally, I'm willing to give Ayton a freebie. I'm not mad at Ayton for this game. I know a lot of you guys, are probably upset, probably expect us to be upset, probably expect us to be talking crap about Ayton. Man, he's just looked so good in those previous 6 games that I'm going to give him a pass. I'm not mad. I'm getting ups. Okay, so you guys, please don't judge me on this. Like, please don't think I'm being too harsh on Monty. This is just an honest question that popped into my head when I was talking to Coach on the phone. And I said to him, are we going to have to get a new coach to win a championship?
You said that?
Yeah.
Why?
And because Monty is simultaneously the best coach I've ever seen and simultaneously one of the worst coaches I've ever seen. He's so great at so many things, but then you see him do things like always icing Book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Playing Nader like Nader is his son who he wants to give minutes because he's literally his dad, right? Now, what does Monty do great? The players respect him, they fear him. He has a pretty good program and system. Players want to play for him, players want to come play here with us. He's a great leader, but his decision making on when to take Book out, when to put him back in, and then what he's been doing with Ayton, like Ayton has finally got his stuff together. You agree? I know you do. He looks outstanding. And I need Monty to pull Chris aside if he hasn't already and Book and say, look, maybe not tonight. Maybe Book scoring 45 requires Ayton to be ignored. But I'm getting sick and tired of them ignoring Ayton. It's one thing if Ayton isn't cooking, but when Ayton's cooking, I just can't accept this blasé attitude towards getting him the ball and hero ball. It's just like, Book's gonna bring it up, gonna do his thing, and I lost the ball or I score, but that's it. It's like it almost is shades of when we had no one and Book had to do everything. I'm seeing that a little bit more in Book, and I just want Monty, first of all, to stop icing Book. It seems like he didn't ice him at all tonight. What a wonder what happens when you don't ice Book. He can get 45, right? But he's mishandling Ayton. Do you agree? Am I off?
No, we've talked about his rotations a lot, and like when he subs in his players, when he doesn't sub in his players are hot and he takes them out. And then, immediately, because like Javon Carter played tonight, he hasn't played in a shit ton of games. And all of a sudden, Javon Carter's playing again and he's rusty as hell. I don't know how many points he had. I think he had 0 points tonight, So he takes out Gallo and he puts Javon in there. I think it was because we were just not playing defense.
Right.
And we were just giving up crazy amount of points. But at the same time, exactly what you're saying. It's kind of situational awareness with the game and how the game's flowing and stuff. And I think he just kind of gives certain players a pass. Like there's certain players that are on his A list and they can do whatever they want pretty much. Booker is on that list. CP3 is obviously on that list. There's a certain amount of players that are on his A list. And then there's a certain amount of players that are just on the other list, and you can get on his shit list really quick. And I guess it's just he has his favorites, kind of plays them like that. And then we have our certain like offense that we go to, right? What does he coin that offense? The 0.5 offense 0.5, or whatever?
Yeah.
I just get really confused. Certain parts of the offense. It's supposed to be a 0.5 offense, right? So the ball doesn't stick. And when he got here, he was they were talking a lot about it with Booker, how it was going to affect his game because the ball, he didn't like when the ball stuck. Like he didn't like ISO players and this and that. He wants the ball to constantly move, get open players and stuff like that. What I'm seeing is there's a lot of ISO play when Booker has it, especially in late game scenarios where it's just sticking, or Chris Paul when he's just doing his dancing stuff. It's not really swinging. The ball's not swinging as much. And I don't know if that's by design, like, hey, just let Booker cook. It's fine. He got 45 when we won tonight. But there's certain scenarios where certain players can do things that are out of the ordinary and it's okay. But then when others do it, they get on the shit list and they don't play anymore. You know what I'm saying? He was yelling at DA. I kind of question whether or not he even wants DA on the team anymore. Like, is he sick of his shit? Like, I don't know if he's just on the shit list because of certain things, but clearly he was yelling at Ayton during that timeout. Sex Maxwell said he saw it as well. So the energy situation with him, and then there's certain players that would do something. It just seems he plays favorites, doesn't know his rotations too much. But like, is he gonna get us to a championship? I have no idea. And it's kind of weird because to even think about that, because just look at how many coaches we went through during the bad times. Like getting a new coach isn't a sure thing. So like you replace Monty, who's to say that next coach is going to take you to the place you need to go, the promised land, you know? I think we have the right coach. I think it's just learning experiences for him because he's playing with a team that, you know, has all these veterans. They're trying to make it to the playoffs and stuff like that. When's the last time he coached a team that was in this spot? And there's learning experiences for coaches, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, what do you think? What do you think?
I don't want to be harsh. I don't want to be too harsh on Monty, right? I mean, it's this love-hate relationship. I mean, I remember what the coaches used to be like in this franchise. And someone had said it, I think it was Burner, he said he's a breath of fresh air. Absolutely a breath of fresh air. Is a breath of fresh air enough to win a title, though? Or do we need something more than a breath of fresh air? Because I don't know, man. I'm nervous. I'm nervous that he's going to go back to icing Book during playoff games. And Book is a rhythm player just as much as DeAndre, right? Mm-hmm. He either has his rhythm or he doesn't. But
what I texted you during the game, and I was frustrated with the amount of touches Ayton was getting. And I said, I was like, what's the point of having DA on this team if you're not going to use him? You know, like there's plenty of teams that would design an offense around a young player like that. Like look at Cat, for example. They suck, right? Their team is garbage, but they know Cat, who he is and what he's not. Like he's an all-star, obviously. But like when Cat was in his early years, do you think that Cat got like 3 touches in the first half or something like that? You know what I'm saying?
No,
like not getting the ball. Yeah,
they went to, and they had Wiggins, and who else did they have? It like they were supposed to be what we've become, right? They were the young up and coming team. It was going to be the T-Wolves. It was going to be Wiggins and Cat, and man, who else did they have? I know they had Rubio and stuff at the time when he was younger. Mm-hmm. Well, that never materialized. But you're right, man. Like it's weird, man, because Book had 45, so maybe that's just what this was tonight, right? Maybe that's why you have a game where Ayton gets completely ignored and only scores 10 points.
Chat saying Jimmy
Butler. That's what it was. They had Butler. So they had an effing squad. And they were still feeding Ayton. They were still feeding Cat. That's what I'm saying. Like, we've got a squad, but we could still feed Ayton more than we are. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm really proud of Ayton, and I want it to continue, and I don't want the coach to be the reason why it doesn't continue.
Yeah.
You know, Roy says, but 4 rebounds for Ayton. Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a little bit, because rebounding is a thing you can control, just like your defense, right? I feel like Ayton was engaged defensively. He had that moment where he's guarding Vujacic and he got that steal, and Vujacic was cooking tonight. But I think that Ayton was pretty engaged on defense. But like I was saying, it's kind of a natural human tendency to kind of disengage when you're not involved in the situation, where you feel like an afterthought on your team. And I don't know if you guys have ever played organized basketball, but if you just never get the ball, you feel like you're doing everything. Like he just seemed like he was a human wall, basically set screen, roll, don't get the pass, set screen, roll, don't get the pass, set screen, rebound. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit's
treating him like Luke Longley.
That shit's mundane as fuck, dude. If you're a big guy and you suck, like you are, like not even Luke Longley, but someone that's just like, that's what you do is set screens and rebound, you're okay with that because you're getting probably paid the veterans minimum or something. But when you're the number 1 pick and that's all you're doing on the court, imagine getting ready for a game. Yeah, I'm all hyped up, and all you do is set a screen, roll to the basket, don't get the ball, set a screen, roll the it's just, that shit would get way frustrating. Trust me. You know, you're not involved, but then you're expected to be energetic on doing the dirty work. I mean,
and he's been a trooper, bro. He's been a trooper. He's not complaining. He's not getting upset. He's been saying, hey, whatever coach wants me to do, but I think what all we're trying to say is it's time to rely more on Ayton because he's proving himself worthy of touches. And he's proven himself worthy of touches in the clutch now, too. Last couple of games, man. He's had some fourth quarter shots where it's like, oh, wow, you give him the ball and he can act. Who knew? Who knew he could hit from the free throw range? Like, it's such easy buckets. I don't know why Coach doesn't want to explore that route. Before we go any further, man, I'm so sorry we forgot to shout out Coach. Guys, the reason Coach isn't with us tonight, he's just still dealing with same stuff from last night. He's taking care of his wife, taking care of his dog, and he's got a son. So he's just
so let's do the negative on Ayton, okay? Because we're not going to sugarcoat this shit. His hands are terrible.
Terrible hands.
Terrible.
Stone hands with butter on them.
The dude is Butterfingers times 10. Like, he got like 3 passes to him, and he's like, ugh, and it just goes everywhere. It's like a guy that's on some bad infomercial, So bad hands, and it's inexcusable to get 4 rebounds. No matter if you're pissed off about not being involved, you're 7 fucking feet tall and athletic as hell. You should get rebounds just because you're high up there in the stratosphere and in the right positions on defense and on offense to snag some boards. So getting 4 rebounds in a game is unacceptable by any means. And that's probably why the coach was pissed, to be honest, because he was getting out rebounded by a guard. That shit does not fly. I don't care what kind of excuses you're making based on not being involved. And because that's a knock on DA is his off and on again energy, disengaged. One night he looks like he's pumped up. The next night he's just kind of there. So that's my takes with him. What do you think? What's your negatives on him?
I think that's very fair. I, of course, agree. His hands are terrible. I think, what would be really interesting? I mean, obviously this isn't going to happen, but I really think this would be the cure. Do you know how good J.J. Watt's hands are?
J.J. Watt?
Yeah.
Not really.
Phenomenal. For his size, phenomenal. You know what he does? Yeah, I don't know if he's doing it anymore, but do you remember when Houston used to throw him in as a tight end?
Yeah.
This dude on Hard Knocks, he would catch so many passes from the jug machine, and he would stand there like a couple of feet away from it and just catching balls with one hand. Like, I think we need that. I think we need literally J.J. Watt this offseason to take Ayton to the football field and practice with him on the jugs machine, because if you can catch a football, and he should have big enough hands that it shouldn't be a problem, right? I don't care if you have small hands, you're 7 feet. Your hands are going to dwarf most wide receivers, right? Even if he just has the regular size hands of a wide receiver or a tight end, which he should at 7 feet. If he can get comfortable catching a football, I think that would help him a lot. And that's probably the one thing he needs to work on is his terrible, terrible hands.
What if we throw wrenches at him? You know what I'm saying?
Like dodgeball?
Yeah.
He needs something, bro. He needs something. Because it's a round basketball. It's not that big. It shouldn't be that hard to catch. But he's not prepared for those rifled passes in there. But
no.
Man, everybody, chat is going wild. We appreciate you guys. Code JJM is in here. Eduardo says Kwame Brown hands. Ugh.
Kwame Brown. We looked at Kwame Brown stats when we were like low on Ayton. Ayton is not even near any of those.
His stats murk Kwame, but Kwame did have bad hands. Apple wants to know, do you think the top 6 seeds are set for the playoffs?
No.
We talked about that. I don't think that they're set in stone right now. I think that the Lakers are going to slide down to 8. Then LeBron will come back, and he'll probably get them back up to 5. Sound about right to you?
Yeah, LeBron's LeBron, man. He does what he needs to. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the seeds are going to be, but they're definitely not set. If the Clippers can lose to Orlando at home, and the Nuggets are on a roll, Mavericks, it's just everything's in flux right now. It's crazy. And then the Suns just announced they're upping attendance capacity to 5,000. So I'm sure by the time playoffs rolls around, that's going to be up to probably about 10 around the league. So it's going to be an issue. I don't know. I think that we were kind of discounting or discrediting the advantage that home court was going to give to these teams. I think it is going to be an issue by then. That's just my guess. So places like Utah with that altitude is going to be an issue with their fans. Scary place to play for
Absolutely.
sure.
Yeah, so we talked about this last night. So I think the Jazz stay in the top 3. I think we stay in the top 3. Now, I am known to drink Suns Kool-Aid, so I could be wrong. Denver, I feel, is going to move up to 4 or 3. Portland is going to move up and be right.
Yeah.
They're not going to be 6. I don't think they're going to be. I think they're just going to get better and better now that everyone's back. Doncic and them, they've been killing it lately. I guess they're 6 and 4 in their last 10. That's not that great.
Who, the Mavericks?
The Mavericks. As of right now, we're slated to play the Mavericks if the playoffs started today.
I think the Mavericks are going to finish about where they are, 7-6 range.
Right.
It's only really the question mark of the 8 seed playing game. I don't think the Utah Jazz are getting out of that first position, so it's really the question mark of 2 through 4, maybe 2 through 5, and shuffle everybody around. Los Angeles Lakers are a question mark because Braun's going to be out another 2 to 3 weeks, I think, or 5. What did they say? 2 to 5 weeks? I don't know what it is. He's going to be out for a while.
3 to 5. They readjusted it to 3 to 5. I don't know why.
Because he's already been out of 2 weeks, right? 3 weeks.
Yeah. So they're asking who are we scared of most in the first round? So looking at these guys that we could play potentially in the first round, Mavericks, Spurs. I don't, like I said, I don't think Portland's going up. So let's look at like from 6 to 9. Any of those teams scare you? Portland. I do not want to get put up against Portland.
No, that would
under
suck.
any circumstance. So that happens if we fall to 3 and they stay the same.
Nobody scares me in the bottom part, but
just Portland. Dallas, it's just one of them things. You're going to have to run through them. You're going to have to go through Dallas. You're going to have to go through San Antonio early to prove yourself. If we can't beat the Mavericks early in the playoffs, we don't belong where we are in the rankings. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, pretty much. We own Dallas, so if we're matched up with them, I think it would be a tough series with Doncic and stuff, but I think we match up really well with them. And then San Antonio, I don't know. I don't really watch them, so I can't really tell you about them. I know that they're playing above what they were supposed to play initially. I think this was just kind of a rebuilding time, and then they're kind of just in there because they're 5-5 in the last 10. And then Golden State, I think you might switch out Golden State and San Antonio. Golden State gets into that play because, like, what is it? Who's in the playing game? How many? It's like 9, right? The 9th seed, or
9 and 8. They're gonna have like a 1-game play-in. If anyone understands that, it's basically
it's confusing.
Rule.
It's confusing, man. Shit.
Yeah.
But let's just say Golden State was to play San Antonio right now because that's how it would go. I think Golden State would get in there. I think San Antonio might drop further down, so you might see like a Memphis in the play-in spot, maybe Golden State in the 8, and then whoever comes out of that.
So overall, though, in the West, you're scared of Denver the most, correct?
Denver, yeah, Utah, Los Angeles Lakers,
fully healthy Lakers, especially with Drummond now.
Clippers, Portland, all of those are tough. Top 6.
I think my biggest fear is healthy Lakers, Jazz, and then Nuggets. and then Clippers, and then Trailblazers. You know,
I just don't know how we're going to get rebounds against big teams if we can't get rebounds over the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't get rebounds in general already. So imagine the Suns trying to go up against the Lakers that picked up Drummond, you know, or the Denver Nuggets that picked up size as well. Plus Portland, you know, they're pretty big as well. It's just the Jazz, they have Gobert, you know. I think rebound's going to be one of our Achilles in the playoffs.
And rebounds are so important in the playoffs. I know it's been a long time since Suns fans have had a chance to watch their team in the playoffs. But if you guys watch regular playoff games with other teams, you see it's just all about second chance points. It's like when you get that offensive rebound and you get another chance, it means double in the playoffs of what it means. And because you take every possession seriously, man. It's a totally different game. And that's why I'm so glad to have Chris Paul. Can we talk about Chris Paul tonight?
Let's talk about Chris Paul. And then I got other players we need to talk about too. We kind of got distracted, but what do you want to talk about with Chris Paul?
I know Chris Paul doesn't have 45 points tonight, right? Just a little 19 and 14 assists. But I was thinking tonight, where would we be without Chris Paul, considering what he affords us in the fourth quarter?
Bro.
Like, we're such a tumultuous team that loves to give up our leads. We've got a double-digit lead. We're giving it up. Double-digit lead, go ahead. We want this to be close at the end. Considering that's our DNA, how effed would we be if we didn't have Chris Paul to help us win all these games that we keep putting ourselves in this situation?
Imagine a world where we didn't make that trade with Kelly Oubre and what's his face? Ricky Rubio, right? I think we'd be about on the teetering of not making the playoffs, to be honest. Like, I think that we'd be
almost exactly as good as we were last year. Maybe a little better.
I think we'd be probably where San Antonio is right now, maybe on the outskirts where Golden State is right now. If we didn't make that trade, I could see us just sitting there and then just biting your nails, wondering if we're going to miss the playoffs again. You know what I'm saying? And then if we miss the playoffs, is Book going to demand a trade out of here? You know, that's where I think that we'd be, honestly.
Who else did you want to talk about?
Dario again killed it, 6 for 9 field goals, 3 for 5 3-point. I'm telling you guys, if Dario makes his 3-pointers, if he makes them and he looks on with that, he's going to have a good game. If he makes about 2 3-pointers, I think you're good. You're going to cook with Dario, 6 for 9, very engaged. And in the low post, he looks awkward sometimes, but he gets the job done, man. He knows how to do posts. And he had another awesome game. He's back in form because he was struggling those games, right? He had like 5 games where he just sucked. What do you think about Dario?
I thought he looked great. Hey, he started out 3 for 3 from 3. Lightning just in a bottle, right? He picked up exactly where he left off last game. And we have so many of these players, right, where if they play up to their potential, I'm thinking of Cam Johnson and McHale. And I'll just go ahead and throw now Saric into that exact same box. These guys play up to their potential. I feel like we're unbeatable.
Yeah, but Cam Johnson hasn't been playing up to his potential. He's just kind of been existing.
I agree.
6 points. Like 6 points. I mean, who can't score 6 points in the NBA? I mean, that's basic shit, dude. That's probably what he was supposed to get when we drafted him, when we reached for him where we did with his draft pick. 6 points ain't nothing. He hasn't really been doing anything.
He's fallen out of that rotation. You know, like, I don't know.
I don't know. Cam Johnson, I think that, man, I really hope he steps it up. He's recovering from COVID and stuff, but I'm just not seeing much from him, you know what I'm saying? And then the same with Bridges. When's the last time someone was put in McHale jail? That shit is just disappeared. Talking about like one of the top defensive players in the league, and he needs to be up there for defensive player of the year and all this just talk at the beginning of the season. Like, I don't hear that ever now. Like, I don't hear him locking people up. I don't see it on Twitter. People saying he's putting people in Mikal gels. I don't see any memes. The dude was a -3 tonight. He only ended up with 6 points. He took 8 shots. I mean, Aiden had 8 shots, but he got 10 points. Like, Mikal is struggling big time on the offensive end. And it's just that hitchness shot and inconsistency across the board. So, what Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson were doing in the bubble, how great they look. They're looking like dumpster juice right now. If I have to be honest with you, they're not where they were, not even close.
You have to just hope. We have to just hope as Suns fans that they're just going through some midseason struggles, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are kind of the dog days of the season. They're tired, second night of a back-to-back. I know it's not just been this game that they were off, but you got to hope that they're going to get it together around playoff time when it really matters. And I feel like they will. I feel like our whole team just plays better against good teams, and we're only going to be playing good teams in the playoffs. But Cam has fallen out of favor, Crowder has stolen damn near all of his minutes. Remember when they were going back and forth? Who's it going to be, Cam Johnson or Crowder? All Crowder all day now. Cam comes in and it's like, hey, Cam, look, if you can do something for us, that's fine. If not, we'll sit you for X, Y, or Z. So he's going to have to work his way back in, just like Javon has had to work his way back in. And that ain't happening.
Mm-hmm.
Frank can't get back on the court. Obviously, he's hurt now, but there's a lot of people that just are coming and going from this lineup. But, man, Mikal is not one of them. He's supposed to be a cornerstone. He needs to be on more than he has been lately.
That's what I'm saying. If you're a cornerstone and you've turned the corner on offense like a lot of people were thinking he did, you can't really have a lot of these 6-point nights. I mean, it's going to happen, but it seems like he's having more of these than not having them, to be honest. Crowder is he's doing Crowder things. And just like I've said, I've always liked him. And I think he's a critical piece. Like, we got to throw him in the mix. Like, Jay Crowder was part of that offseason that we had with adding Chris Paul and Crowder, which, experts saw that. And that's why they were like, wow, Suns made some moves. They're going to make the playoffs this year because they liked our offseason. And Crowder was part of that. So
yeah, I'm glad everything that we did is working out like that, right? Like bringing them in, making the sacrifices that we made, getting rid of the players and bringing these. It's working. At least they are working. CP3 is working overtime, and Crowder is completely working on this team. Leads us in threes, and he's going to be our Marley Award, Hustle Award winner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think? Either him or Mikal.
Crowder definitely is up there. He's in the right positions. He hustles, good at defense, scrapper, makes those threes when you need them.
Is Crowder leading the team in blocks, says Jason Joyce. God, I hope not. It better be Ayton. In fact, I'll look real quick. Let's take a look at that. Nobody lost tonight that helps us, except for your favorite team, the Lakers. Lakers take a nice L to the Bucks. So,
yeah, apparently Drummond hurt his toe, I guess, or his foot in his debut.
Maybe it'll all work out then. Let's look at the Suns. Let's see who's leading us in blocks. Ayton with 1.1. Thank God. Right? Mikal with 0.9. Frank with 0.4. Bro, Crowder is like, yeah, Crowder ain't getting blocks this season. But then let's take a look. How is Mikal getting 0.9 steals and Chris Paul has 1.4? He's going to have a steal more a game. See,
seems odd.
Booker with 25 a game. That's nice that he's gotten back up to his 25. CP3 at 16 and 8. he's just doing everything for the team, right? He's just doing everything. So you can't really complain. But 14.7, we need to get Ayton. Ayton's not going to get back up to 18, do you think?
No.
Like he was before?
Nope.
I'll tell you this. If he can get himself back to 16 and 11, I'll be completely happy. Stay where you are, rebounds. Just get me a 1.3 points more per game, 16 and 11, and I won't fuss, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mikhail needs to get to 15. Man, Torrey Craig was 7.8 points.
He had a bad game tonight.
Craig did?
Yep.
Yeah. You know, I think we just need to realize he is what he is, man. Stephen Priestley from the Nuggets podcast was right. He's just whatever you get from him offensively, you have to look at it as a bonus. But he's not helpless on offense. He's just not quite as talented as he is on defense. And that's fine, man. We got him for cash, you know? So, yeah, anything else you guys want to talk about in here, please shout it out. I've got a couple of notes I'm sure I haven't gotten to yet. You got anything else, Salt?
No. It was interesting that I thought that this game was going to go the way it went because they had nobody, man. They're missing White. They're missing Levine. They're missing everybody. And then the Suns just wouldn't put them away. The Suns, I mean, have the Suns had many games where they just kind of put the teams that they were playing away and it was just kind of scrub time in the fourth quarter where like your players, I was going to say that one of the reasons why
5 games all season.
Sticks isn't getting really minutes is because we don't put teams away to the point where he can get scrub minutes. You know, we're just playing scrub teams to the wire.
That's true. And that's fair. Very true and fair. But I'm starting to think like, doesn't a number 10 overall pick deserve a little bit of leash, right? Like, we talked about should coach, Darth was in here. We were talking about should coach sit Saric because of his yips or should he let him play through it? Well, he made the right decision. He played him through his yips. Why not play Sticks through some of this rookie learning curve so that God forbid we need him in the playoffs, which, dude, I think it's going to happen at some point in the playoffs. So we're going to need Sticks. We're going to need another big, and we don't have another big on the roster. Like, do you really want Sticks coming in with zero, rhythm, zero chemistry? I don't like that, man. Now, if you had gone and signed Drummond or Aldridge or Dang or any of these guys, I wouldn't even worry about it. But it's like, I don't know. I say play him through a little bit of his whatever it is that coach doesn't like about his game. Play it out of him. Get him a chance to work it out of his game. What do you think, man?
You know what I think about Sticks, man. I think he should be playing, and they drafted him high, and I really wish some reporters would ask our coach, like, why aren't you playing this guy, you know? Like, ask the hard questions where you'd have to actually respond, like, hey, you have a number 10 pick that's a big on your just rotting over there on the bench. Apparently the G League's over. That's what they were saying last night. So it's like, well, how is this guy going to get minutes and develop for the future if he's just not playing? And the only time he's getting is in practice. I'd really like to see what Monty would say. Like, what would his response be? Like if he put his foot to the fire and said, hey, Monty, like real talk, why the fuck aren't you playing your number 10 pick? Like, I really want to know. Cause like,
or even coming at him from like a more like nuanced approach. That's a little slicker and sly, right? You don't have to go at him like Kellen Olson went at Book. You could just be like, coach, we haven't really seen Sticks at all. Is there anything particular that you're not seeing in practice from him that you need to see? Or, is it a thing where he just hasn't been able to get his win back since COVID? Is there any reason why Sticks hasn't really seen the court? Just a simple worded question like that. Like, we understand there's a few different reasons you could be not playing him. Is it any of the ones that we've thought of? Or did he sleep with the chick you're dating. Like, what's going on? But you don't have to give him that part. But man, Shervin, what's going on? Shervin from Blazers Uprise. He says D-Book is the truth. Man, it looks good, right? It looks good from afar seeing Book get 45. It feels good. It feels good for us. It's nice, but Suns fans, I think we're just so perpetually stuck in losing mentality that it's tough to really enjoy these wins, right? Because it's like we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, right?
Yeah, Apples is saying that the Suns have really good tiebreakers apparently in the West.
They do. I think the only one we don't have is because of the Nuggets. I think Steven's still in here. The Nuggets have the tiebreaker because of the ridiculous refereeing that went on in the early part of the season. God, man, I think that's the number one most disappointing thing about this season for me was that double, triple step back that they let Jamal Murray have. Ayton played perfect defense on him and forced him to travel. And the refs were like, nah, we're letting the Nuggets take it. F you refs and F you Nuggets. I officially hate the Nuggets. I'm deciding it. Before this moment,
you hate them.
Before this moment, I didn't hate the Nuggets. I hate them now. I hate Jamal Murray now. Do you hate them or do you?
I like Joker too much to hate the Nuggets, bro. I'm sorry. Like he's transcendent when it comes to a big man talent, and I just like his game. Like I don't really have ill will towards the Nuggets. It's not like the Suns have played them in the playoffs and have some kind of rivalry with them. I was cheering for him in the bubble in the playoffs. Like I wanted them to beat the Jazz, and they did. Murray was going off. It's not a team that I really just have ill will towards. I have no reason to hate them. So the answer would be no.
Yeah, I hate them because they got 2 games off of us that I feel the refs gave to them. It was 2 games, right? I know the step back game, but I feel like there was another.
Yeah, the step back one was egregious. So yeah, that one. But I don't remember the other game.
So Aljoy Alfonso, what's going on, man? He says he thinks the Suns' weakness is the post. We will always get abused on the post if Ayton is not guarding the post player. They'll always switch out and drag Ayton out and post our wings in CP3. I like Ayton's defense on the wing, but you're right. If someone else gets stuck trying to defend the post, if it's not Ayton, it's over. If that dude has post moves, we are screwed. Jokic will ruin us.
Sex Maxwell says Jokic. How do you say his name? I can't. I call him Joker because I can't pronounce his name. But Jokic.
I say Jokic, but I could be wrong.
Jokic, Joker. Anyway, it's his favorite player. I agree, man. Dude's awesome. We did talk about how Bridges was not in the fourth quarter and Dario was in. That was a weird lineup.
Good point. What do you guys in the chat think about Dario Ayton finishing the game over? They had Crowder at the 3, right?
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about that? You want Mikhail Crowder or Ayton Crowder? Sorry. Mikhail Crowder or Dario and Crowder. What do you guys think? I mean, this was our first time seeing it tonight. I think they need to play those players together more, our 2 big, Sarge and Ayton. So I liked it. I don't like it coming at the expense of no, that'd be crazy. From a defensive standpoint, I'd put Bridges in over Book, but you can't take Bridges out. You know what I'm saying? That was a ridiculous thought. But yeah, I don't know, man. So P-Dog says he liked it. Twin Towers. Jason Joyce says Dario and Ayton equaled no points in the paint. Are you saying that's no points in the paint for us scoring or no points in the paint from the other team scoring? Because if it's no paints from us scoring, that's just because Booker and CP3 seem to want to do hero ball at the end of every game. Or just jack up whatever they want to shoot. Make or miss. Bo says Dario Crowder when Dario is feeling it. I kind of agree, man. I think that's the move. And Roy says it perfectly. It's fine by me. Just wants to see us win. So Jason was saying for the other team, it stopped the other team from scoring in the paint. Yeah,
they were big, like,
and that's
big.
why Frank worked when he worked. And don't say he didn't work, because we win like at a 90% clip when he plays. Height is height. You can't teach height. You can't scheme height. You either have it or you don't at the rim. And one thing that Frank does really well at the rim on defense is he goes straight up. He doesn't hack forward. He makes it very hard to finish over him at the rack. So, yeah, I like Dario. I like the taller lineups, man. I'm not really with that small ball so much. I don't think small ball in the playoffs is going to work against Drummond and AD. Right?
Yep.
Am I crazy here?
Nope.
You want Crowder guarding AD?
Get worked.
Come on. So
it's weird, like a weird thought. Where does Sticks fit in on this team? I mean, for the future, you drafted a power forward, right? Because that's what he is. When you have Dario coming off the bench, and it's like you try shuffling the lineups around to make it work for Sticks to play. That's why he's not playing. He's not a true center. Dario's on the bench. Like, who do you take out? And like, who? It's just he doesn't fit on this team, and that's why he's not playing. So you kind of have to blame.
Fit on the team. Doesn't fit on the team. We started Kaminsky for like
Kaminsky's 7 feet tall.
Sticks is 6'10".
He's a power forward, bro.
But that's where they play Kaminsky.
What I'm trying to say is they drafted him out of place because he wasn't slotted to go that high at all. And people were like, "What? They're drafting this dude out of Maryland with the 10th pick? Like, what the like what's going on?" Because Halliburton was there and stuff like that. Like, to be brutally honest, just for this kind of if he was projecting forward, I mean, where the fuck were you planning on playing him this year? I think that a backup point guard would have been better. I mean, you have campaign and all this other shit, but like, I mean, Halliburton's kind of a combo guard. He's not really a shooting guard, and he's not really a point guard. But man, like, tell me if you're the GM and you draft Sticks, where were you planning on playing him this year?
Okay. If it's me, if I'm the GM, or say I'm a coach, let's say I'm Monty, where am I going to play Sticks? Right?
I'm just asking you. You're a GM right now. The pick's coming up. Why the fuck are you drafting this guy?
You're drafting him because you let Kaminsky go, remember, and you let Big Boy Baines go. So you had a clear need at the power forward or center position. They went with somebody who, in my opinion, is a effing stud. I love Sticks. Love him. And I believe in him fully. Everything I've seen from him shows me that he could be a backup power forward.
Bro.
Backup power forward.
Breaking news. DeAndre Ayton has been suspended 1 game via Kellen Olson for language towards Monty Williams. Bro, I told you, dude.
You called it. Yo,
I fucking call it. Please give me my props. Thank you.
Saltiest game. If this is true, if Iverson isn't pulling a April Fool's,
it's an April Fool's. Fuck.
I was gonna say it. That's why I said if true.
Hey, you better be on the East Coast, my dog. Because I'm still in Arizona. It's not fucking April Fool's, but good one. You got me. You got me, man. Dude.
Yeah, but yo, that was
what were you saying? What were you saying about Sticks though? Like,
I would put Sticks at the backup power forward. I would slide him above Kaminsky in the pecking order, behind Saric in the pecking order.
Iverson's going to the basement for real, bro.
Yeah, dude, Iverson, you might as well lock yourself up. You might as well show up because it's gonna be. I'm gonna have to drag you kicking and screaming. But no, man. What do you think about that? You get
I
more
don't know.
minutes than Kaminsky, and you get less minutes than Saric.
Man, you're gonna give up minutes for Sarge for how
No,
good
no,
he is.
no. I'm just saying, like think of all the run that Kaminsky has gotten, all the chances he's gotten.
Yeah,
I
but he
think
hasn't been playing for like 10 games.
I know, and that's fine if you have to sit sticks for a little while. But sitting him the whole season, I'm not saying he has to be a rotation, but you're giving minutes. You're giving all these minutes to Nader when he's healthy, and Kaminsky when he's healthy. Why couldn't we have seen sticks during that time?
They've made two moves that just clearly say that they ain't down with playing sticks. They went and got Frank Kaminsky, and I don't know. I don't remember the situation. I think he was in COVID protocols, maybe, because it was a long time ago. And he injured his ankle and shit like that. So they went and got Frank early in the year. And I don't remember the situation, but I do know it went fucking downhill when he got COVID. He was in protocols and he hurt his ankle, and it's like he hasn't sniffed playing time since then. But they went and got Frank, which is a big man, which originally they didn't. He wasn't deemed worthy to be on the team anyway, so he went to Sacramento. And then what was the other move? They went and got Craig. Okay,
Yeah.
so if that's another clear sign to you that says, man, we're not going to play this guy, or we're not trying to play this guy this year, or maybe ever, because they're making moves that are clear as day that they don't want to play this dude. Because potentially you would have Saric playing the forward spot or whatever. They're about the same height, and then you'd have Sticks in there, and then Cam Johnson campaign, and then whatever, slot someone else in there. He would essentially be taking Craig's minutes, which 16 minutes a game is what Craig got, and then you'd be bigger on the bench essentially. So they made two moves when they had a chance to play the rookie, and they haven't done it.
I see Craig as more of a 3 than a 4. Although small ball, the way we play our small ball shit, he fits that 4 mold much better than Nader. Do you think that anybody in the chat, do you guys think that Nader is going to come back and take some of these Craig minutes, or do you think they're going to split time, or do you think Craig's just taking his spot? Because I think Craig has taken his spot. He's a bigger version of him who goes Jordan mode less. But then again, that's me saying that. Monty seems to have a gigantic boner for him.
I don't. I think he lost his playtime forever. I don't know.
So Roy says all Craig. Roy was also asking, do you think D-Book for all NBA team? I don't see that happening.
You don't think second?
Second, perhaps. But they're going to give, like, you look at the guards, they're going to give that stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Come on. It's not a Western Conference, Eastern Conference thing. That's like all they're going to give that shit to, like, Kyrie. They can give it to Doncic.
Harden.
They give it to Harden. Yeah. But maybe second. I'd love to see Book on the Olympic team coming up, So
you can get wear and tear on
him. Jordan played on the dream team. Jordan did it. It's fine. He'll be fine. He's a young man. I'm not worried about that. I mean, I'm worried if he rolls up his Achilles or some shit like that. Like, I don't want that to happen. But I think it's important for Book to play on Team USA.
I mean, at this point, I don't know. I would kind of disagree more. I would be again. He's just going to get extra wear and tear on him. It's like, it is what it is.
Think of the experience he's going to get playing with those guys.
He already gets experience. He's not like a rookie where he's like, hey, I need to go meet these stars. He's played against all of these dudes in the NBA. Like, what other experience is he going to get? He's playing with Chris Paul. I don't know, man.
Gold medals. Medals playing against the world. And the world is not shabby anymore.
That doesn't hold what it used to hold, I think. Like where you bring in your best players and stuff like that. Like they brought it all back. They brought, what was it, Colangelo brought basically a dream team back to play as like Kobe, LeBron, and all them, and they just stomped everybody. And then ever since that, it's just like, all right, we reassumed our dominance over the world, so we're kind of like just throw whoever else who wants to go and play.
Like he's not gonna stop playing just because he's not playing in the Olympics. He's gonna be playing in practice. He's gonna be doing drills. He's gonna be working out. He's gonna be doing 5-on-5. He's probably gonna be in Drew League. He's probably gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna be hooping regardless. I'd rather if he's gonna be hooping at that point in the summer. I don't think it's even this summer necessarily. I can't remember, but why not have him going up against the greatest players in the world and beating them rather than just being in practice doing 5-on-5 drills and stuff? Like, I think it could make him.
Remember, I'm going to give you an argument why I don't think you should. Remember when Paul George had that horrific injury? That was during Team USA's run, I believe.
Oh, man. Was that when that was?
Yeah. And people thought his career was over.
I don't know, man. Chat, that's a great reason. Chat, what do you guys think? You guys want Booker playing in Team USA?
I give 0 fucks if he plays with Team USA, dude. Could care. I don't really want him to do it, man.
Maybe I'm just being selfish because I really want a USA Booker jersey. But yeah, Bo, exactly. Like you can get injured anywhere. He's gonna be putting wear and tear on. I just like the experience and like I don't know. I feel like there's not many things that can make Booker better, but playing against the world's best with the world's best, I think that could raise up his profile, definitely his profile, which raises up Phoenix profile. I don't know. I'm not saying you're making a bad argument. You're making a great argument. You're being more practical than I am.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise, surprise. Right? Iverson says no. P-Dog says he'd rather he play for Mexico. Yeah, but he's Puerto Rican, so I don't see how that would work.
Have him play for Mexico randomly.
Just like be racist like that. Yeah, go play for Mexico. I'm not even. Man. Yeah, Bo says might as well have the best training staff in the world around you to help. So yeah, so does this move the needle for you at all, bro? Clippers getting Boogie. Are you scared? Are you scared?
No.
Don't lie.
Nope.
Come on. Everybody's getting bigger.
No,
everybody's getting bigger.
He's washed.
All right, we're gonna relive that at some point. But yeah, man, let's take a look at the schedule coming up. So look at the first real quick. Let's look at standings. So we are looking good. I can't wait to play the Jazz again. I hope we get at least one more crack. I think we're gonna get 2 more cracks at them coming up actually pretty soon. God, I can't wait to see what we look like against the Jazz. Like that's gonna tell you so much, right? 2 games ahead of the Clips. I think I don't know, man. I think we're cashing in that 2. We're gonna be 1 through 3. We fall anywhere out of there, I'm gonna be upset. I could live with 4, but 4 puts us up against the Trailblazers. So I don't even know that I can say that, honestly.
Sex Maxwell's asking if I'm from the West Side. No, I've been East Side my whole life. Born in Mesa, raised in Tempe. Now I live in Mesa again.
Burner. So maybe Burner must be talking about this with my assessment of Cousins. He wants me to stay off the damn weed. And I probably should, because you're right, man. Cousins is old as hell. He only had 1 game this season. Did you know that was against the Lakers? So it's probably just a revenge game where he went all out, probably re-injured himself. Yeah, Roy, I'm in Austin, man. And So now you know where Suns Geek is, Austin. So yeah, man, I don't know. Let's take a look here at the
schedule real quick.
Schedule coming up. Phoenix Sketch. Oh, don't take me back to the NBA schedule.
Thunder on Friday. Suns Rockets Monday. Jazz Wednesday. Clippers Thursday. So Thunder Suns revenge game. Didn't we lose the Thunder last time we played them?
I don't think so. I don't think
you sure?
So. Let's look. Well, I can look up. Oh my God, sure. We did. Oh, and Paul had 32.
Okay. Yeah, that was a game that pissed me off. That's why I remember it.
You're right, man. I thought we had beaten them this year. That was a disgusting loss. So hey, I just want to say, remember when I got flamed for ruining our lives by saying that we were going to win every game we play? So that was after Miami. I was like, look, we've got a 3-game win streak, and out of the next 10 games, which is down to here, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Houston. Okay. I said we were going to win all of these games, Orlando down, except we would probably lose a mystery game. Did I not?
Mm-hmm.
So we are still on pace for that, bro. We're still on pace for my out of this world rankings that everybody had a problem with when we lost by 1 point to Orlando when they still had Vucevic. So I stand by it. I stand by my perfect prediction. We're going to lose one mystery game in this 10-game stretch. We've already done that. We're going to beat Oklahoma City, and we're going to beat Houston. And then the real tests, this 2-game stretch right here. Tell me I'm wrong, Salt.
Man, I remember last time we started going through these, and then we immediately lost to Orlando. So
Burner says, Gabe, can you please don't stop being scared? All right,
you can't not do this. This is your thing. It's kind of like
being so superstitious. Stop. I mean, that's fine. If you want to be superstitious, do your thing. Like, I'm not going to lie and say that on Suns game days, I don't do certain protocols, right? I make sure I'm wearing a Suns article of clothing every game. And it's just one of those things. I feel like we'll lose if I don't. And that's obviously not true because sometimes we still lose when we don't have control over these games. Booker, shockingly, isn't watching me right now. Monty, shockingly, doesn't give a damn about what me and Salt have to say. Okay, nothing we say in this group is going to have any effect on the game. I have to come out here and voice my opinion so that if I'm right, I can say I told you so. And also, I mean, it's a matter of, hey, keeping us accountable here on this podcast, right? Like, I appreciate that you always say we're going to lose because you're doing that non-jinxing thing. I'm past that, bro. I just want to look at this Suns team for who they are and determine what I think. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, God, Burner is going to fly to oh, he says, don't make me fly DA to Austin. Man, that would be hilarious because that would be hilarious. Gabe wears the Suns tidy white. Dude, if I had Suns underwear, which I did see some Suns boxer briefs that look pretty dope. They're Valley boxer briefs. Probably need to get like 10 pairs of those so I can wear them on every game. But we're gonna be fine, man. And I just want everyone to know that I'm doubling down. I'm doubling down that we lost our mystery game, and we're gonna win these 3 games and have a 9 out of 10 streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 10. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that when the time comes, man. So anything to close it out, Salt? Coach, we see you in here in chat, dude. What's good, bro? We're glad he probably took a nap and then woke up. He looked so tired when I was talking to him. But What do you got to close us out, Salt?
Revenge game versus the Thunder. Gotta pay him back for that loss. Gotta get that W. And then you're gonna have a good, 2 days off until you play the Rockets, which are struggling a lot. That could be a trap. Could be a trap game though. That could be one of those games. Suns like to lose those games, and then a huge game versus the Jazz, which will be crazy. Dude, on Wednesday.
I'm hoping our podcast. I can imagine our podcast is going to have a big turnout for that. Do you guys have any interest in us doing a watch party, especially for these later games when Salt's actually able to get his kid down, both of his beautiful children actually down? We wouldn't be able to watch the game together, but we'd be able to, chat and do all of this, and me and Salt will be watching it in a different window and stuff. Let me know if you guys want to do that. I think that would be fun for the Utah game. It's a 9:00 game. And what time do you put your kids to bed, Salt? 5 p.m.
Yeah. Like 2:00 in the afternoon.
With NyQuil.
8:30, like 8:30 my time.
With NyQuil and threats. Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, Suns win. You guys can follow me at Gabe Von Carter. Please follow the podcast at Suns Valley Pod. Salty, where can they find you?
This is the Twitter account. I put it in the DMs. I'll get the Discord information real quick if you give me some time.
It's in the description. It's in.
But people are lazy, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
That's fine. Yeah, slap it up here. Perfect.
People are pretty lazy. Like going to the description is hard for some people. So
burner account says they'll do a watch party if I show him a dungeon. He wants like a crib style view of my house. I'll take you through and show you everything. Show you where Suns Geek lives, where he's been living. Show you where I'm about to put. Who else am I putting in? Who else am I putting in the? He'll be in there. But yeah. He says, Gabe, you're a sociopath. Put kids to sleep with NyQuil. That's not me. That's what Salty does. Golly.
That's why Gabe doesn't have any kids, man.
I'm not going to put my kids to sleep with NyQuil when Benadryl works perfectly well. All right. So anyways, man, we'll see you guys in a couple of nights. Suns win. Don't hate me. We're going 9 for 10.